Hello, everyone. Uh, Hopefully, everyone can hear us. And I'm just going to turn my camera on. Sorry, I was hiding there. My name is Linda Stanovich, and I will be hosting tonight. Tina is away, and Karen is busy with a whole bunch of bookings, but we do have Luke here tonight. And Matt will be presenting about cruising for the military. And it's something he is very familiar with as a former military personnel who served in the Canadian forces and also as a travel agent. So I'm going to just do a quick overview. So we are Vacations for Canadians. We are a cruise specialist as far as vacations go. We also have a new division called Magical Vacations for Canadians, dealing with Disney, our magical vacations page. But tonight we are here to talk about cruising, to answer your questions, any that you might have about cruising, and mostly to talk about cruising for the military. So I'm going to hand it over to Matt and let him do his presentation. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Linda. Good evening, everyone. Yes, obviously, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm just going to start with this first picture just so that everybody can see the two sides of me. 27 years I served in the Canadian Armed Forces. So for those who might not have ever believed that I actually served, there's me in Afghanistan during an active patrol that we did going through one of the villages. So that's me on the left. And then obviously my second career now as a travel agent, that is me from our recent hosted cruise that we did on Virgin Voyages. So the beard is a little grayer now, but after 27 years in the military, I think I earned those grays. So that's a little bit about my history. Like I said, 27 years in the military. When I retired, my first thing that I did when I retired was I went on a cruise. It was my very first cruise that I went on. It was a gift to myself at retirement. And I immediately fell in love with it. And then quickly started to gather an interest in the travel industry. I had done a lot of hosted events in the military. I looked after a lot of special events for the military. So I already had that kind of planning background. And so this just seemed like such a natural fit for me. And then, of course, with the military, I'd had the opportunity to travel all over the world, not just to some of the austere places like you see there, but also some of the amazing places around the world that I got to visit either in my military endeavors or in my off time when I had time off from the military during the to reconnect with our family and loved ones. And I got to do some amazing traveling all over Europe, as well as all over Canada, the US, and other countries abroad. So with that, as I became a travel agent, the first thing that I wanted to do was to really try and look into what kind of advantages there are for military and how I can be of better service as a travel agent with that niche kind of group. Obviously, I have a lot of connections with the military. For those who have met my wife before, she works in the communications department for the Niagara Falls Fire Department. So we have a connection with first responders. Obviously, military people have a lot of friends that are in police services and things like that. So we have a very tight-knit community when it comes to military first responders and things like that. So that was really how this all started for me. So once I started looking into cruising for the military, I wanted to find out what cruise lines were out there that offered different benefits, promotions towards the military. And then one of the little logos that you see in there is CF1. So that's the anybody in the military, Canadian military, whether active or retired, should be fairly well versed in what the CF1 program is, the Canadian Forces Appreciation Program. With all different kinds of vendors, whether it's travel, whether it's goods and services, all different kinds of companies try to get involved and offer discounts to military and veterans and their dependents. So you can register in that program, you get that fancy little card, or you can just download the app, which I have open on my phone right now. So I just wanted to have that ready to show, but it's definitely a good resource. And as we go ahead, you'll see how our agency, Vacations for Canadians, has become affiliated with the CF1 program. So the first cruise line that I'm going to talk about is Norwegian Cruise Line. So when I came aboard, I had it, like I said, when I retired, my very first cruise was with Norwegian Cruise Line. I got on there and I saw that they had a veterans gathering. And I thought, oh, this is amazing. This is so great that they take time to recognize the military that are on board. I got to go check this out. Well, when I got there, I found out it was by invite, and I was confused. I was like, how would they know who's military to be able to invite them? So I went and talked to guest services to ask a little bit more information because I was very curious about this. And it turns out that you had to be registered in order to get that invitation. So the program that the American military were using, as well as first responders and everything, is ID.me. So I put the website on there so that people can be aware of it. But at the time, it was only available to American military active and veterans, as well as first responders that were registered through that website. But as I worked as an agent, I pushed harder and harder and harder with our sales team, with Norwegian Cruise Line. And I really pushed for that Canadian affiliation with Norwegian Cruise Line and the military. So after, a year and a half of back and forth communications with Norwegian Cruise Line, telling them that the ID.me program had now been opened up to Canadian military for us to register, and that, hopefully they would extend this program to Canadian military. Announced on Canada Day, but it didn't actually go live until August 6th. So as of August 6th, 2024, the Canadian military and veterans now receive those same benefits for Norwegian Cruise Line. So once you register on ID.me, because that's the first step that you have to do, is register yourself on ID.me. Then you can go into your Latitudes account on your Norwegian Cruise Line, either on the website or on your app. And then you can connect the two. So you can register your ID.me profile with your Latitudes profile. And then you'll see like the box there with my name on there. That's what will show up on your app. That's what will show up online when you log into your account on Norwegian Cruise Line, into your Latitudes account. You'll see that little box there that says military appreciation. So I'm registered, obviously, with Norwegian Cruise Line as soon as they went live with the program. So you can see right there how it identifies that you're military. And then with every Norwegian cruise that I take going forward, I now get those same benefits. So you get that 10% discount on all of their cruise fares. So even our discounted group rates, you will get savings on top of our discounted group rates, which is amazing if you are military, because that is savings on top of savings. And that doesn't always happen across different cruise lines. Plus, you get to receive some of those special onboard experiences. There's an invitation that you get to have a cocktail reception with the captain. There is a certificate that you get, and every ship, the captain has a special coin. So for anybody in the military or who has served in the military, you know the importance of coins that are exchanged between different units. And so it's great that Norwegian Cruise Line has taken on this military tradition and extended it into their program. And so this is a presentation that they do. And then they obviously host additional military get-togethers throughout your sailing, but they're kind of self-led. But the first one is always done with the ship staff, and the captain does the presentations of these certificates and coins, which is really phenomenal. And that's how I kind of started to understand about, okay, there are cruise lines out there that do stuff for the military, and was happy to see when Norwegian got on board and started offering Canadian discounts as well. The second one is Virgin Voyages. So I really wanted to talk about this one because this just went live last week. So it is very new. So it was about a couple months ago that they finally offered the military and emergency first responders to US, but not Canada. And the day it was announced, I went to our national sales rep, and I was like, same conversations I had with Norwegian. I started over again with Virgin, saying, you know, how are we being excluded from this? There was just an magazine article that had the CEO of Virgin Voyages saying how important the Canadian clientele are to the success of Virgin Voyages. And now this seems to be the exact opposite message, to be excluding Canadian military and first responders. This email that I sent went right up to the North American sales manager for Virgin, who wrote back to me and said that he appreciated, something coming from not only a first mate, a travel agent with Virgin Voyages, but also somebody who had an extensive military background. And obviously my wife being a first responder, because this program is for both. Sure enough, while we were just away on a cruise last week, Virgin reached out to me and said, great news, the program is going live tomorrow. And then sure enough, the next day, I started seeing the advertisements come out that the Canadian military are now part of Virgin's cruise promotion, as well as emergency first responders. So amazing opportunity here, 15%. So they don't have the registration program like I mentioned with Norwegian. All it is that you have to have your identification, which if you're anybody who is military or retired military, you're carrying that ID on you all the time, because depending on the airlines that you fly with, you can get free baggage as well. So it's something that we always were programmed to have on us at all times. And so you want to make sure you have that military ID with you to present at check-in to verify that you are entitled to those savings. So an additional 15% off, which is fantastic. So you just have to make your travel agent aware of that so that we can apply that promotional code to your reservation. And then, like I said, when you go to do check-in, you have to make sure that you have that identification on you so that you get to keep that promotional savings. Next is Royal Caribbean Group. So obviously under Royal Caribbean Group, the two cruise lines that we work with are Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. Although they both fall under the same major company, the two branches work completely independently and offer different promotions. So first we'll talk about Celebrity Cruises because it's a lot easier to manage. With Celebrity Cruises, they offer military savings to their members. The savings is per person for first and second guests. And when they do that, it's based on your room category. So you can see the prices there. $25 per person if you have an inside or ocean view, $100 per person if you have veranda and above. Now, having said that, it is combinable with most of the cruises that are out there. There are certain exceptions to that. One being if you're going to the Galapagos, you're not going to get that. The other one being if there is special promotional savings. So there's special promotional codes that Celebrity offers occasionally on some of their sailings. If you are booked into one of those sailings, your travel agent will tell you that it's not combinable with the military savings. So always ask, and then we'll be able to look into it and see if those promotional codes are on the reservation, because if they are, then they're not combinable with the military savings. If not, it's one phone call for us. We call up Celebrity and they apply it to your booking and you get that $100 savings. And again, this is combinable with our discounted group rates. So even more savings extended to you as a military member or as a veteran, so that you can have that additional money back in your pocket. Now, with Royal Caribbean, it's a little more complicated. It's all based on the sailing. We have an entire spreadsheet of all the different sailings that Royal Caribbean offer these discounted rates to. It's all accessible to us through our booking portal. And so if you are military, on our booking forms, it has an opportunity for you to be able to share if you're military or not. And if you are, or if you go to book online through our booking portal online, there is a question on there where it asks you if you're military. So as soon as you check that off, it'll pull up the promotional rate if that particular itinerary offers it. So depending on the itinerary, the length of it, where it's going, things like that, there will be savings on it, but it won't be combinable with whatever the savings might be that's going on at this time. So for instance, if it's 60% off the second guest, well, that 60% off second guest promotion is not combinable with whatever the military savings is. It's a one or the other. So they're not combinable. So you're going to want to go with whichever is the better of the two options. But at least by letting us know, we can look at it and be able to tell you This is what the rate is with Royal Caribbean based on their sales promotion that they have going on. Or if you're interested in the military discount, this is what we can offer you with the military rates. So it's really itinerary dependent, but as always, just let your travel agent know, and we can pull up the spreadsheet with all the different applicable sailings and then let you know what the promotional rate would be.
So Matt, before you start that, we do have a question. I thought we could just pop this up and you could answer it in the moment. So this one comes from Ashley asking, do all guests have to be military, or everyone in the cabin gets a discount with one military member?
So not everybody in the cabin has to be military in order to get it. But if there are multiple, depending on the cruise line, you'll get multiple savings. So for instance, when I was showing that one for celebrity, it's first and second guest. So it would be $200 off. Whereas on other ones, it's just a flat rate for the savings. Or as you'll see on this next one, where we start to talk about onboard credit offers, it's only a one for the stateroom. So it doesn't matter if there's 4 people in the stateroom and 3 of them are military. So for instance, the cruise that I just got back from, we had a room of 4 guests. My wife was first responder, I'm military, and my oldest daughter is military, but we would only get that offer once for the stateroom. But yes, I see Ashley followed up with talking about celebrity specific. So yes, $200 would come off of your rate there. So if you're in a veranda or above, you would get $200 off. So looking ahead, obviously we don't offer Carnival per se, but owned by Carnival Cruise Line Company, we do have cruise lines that we do offer, which is Princess, Holland America, and Cunard, which all offer different promotional. Even though they all fall under the same company, they all have different ways that they handle their promotional offers. And so that's why I split them up to show you what they are. So again, depending on the length of sailing with Princess, there's an onboard credit that you can be offered, and it's per qualified passenger. So you see the asterisk there because in that case, if you had 2 people in the stateroom and they both qualified, then you would get that doubled. But if only one person, like if my wife and I were going on a cruise together and she's a first responder but not military, and this is strictly for military benefits, then we would only get, say, the $100 hour credit for a week-long sailing. So you can see the different amounts there. 6 days or less, and it goes by length of sailing, not by room category. 6 days or less, 7 to 13, and 14 days or longer. So if you do any of those back-to-backs, then you can get $250 in onboard credit applied to your booking. For Holland America, it's a flat rate. So it's a $100 onboard credit gets attached to your booking. So it makes it a lot easier because you just know that if you do a cruise with Holland America, then you're going to get that $100 onboard credit. Again, it's per stateroom, so it doesn't matter how many people are in the cabin and how many people may actually qualify for that promotional offer. It's per stateroom, so you only get it once. With Cunard, again, it's voyage length dependent. Okay, so it's obviously a little less on that one. So it's $25 for 2 to 6 nights, $50 if it's 7 to 13, $125 if it's between 2 and 3 weeks. And then if you're doing like one of those world cruises or any sailing that's 22 nights or longer, it got cut off there, but it's $200 onboard credit. So there is different promotional offers depending on the cruise line that you're working with. So definitely make sure that you let us know if you qualify for those promotional offers. We'll just ask for a piece of identification, either your military identification or your veterans card, or your CF1 card that I showed the little picture of at the beginning. Any one of those 3, just send us a picture of that. We download it, we add it to your profile so that we can put it in for the promotional offers and then have that same identification on you when you go to check in for your cruise. So speaking of the CF1 appreciation program, and I could go on with more cruise lines, and if you do a lot of research, which I often do, You will see that with some of the cruise lines that are out there, they strictly offer to American military. So we're still trying to work on some of those. There are some river cruise lines like, let me think, Atlas is one that I know of that offers it. And there's one more that's not coming to mind right now. AMA Waterways. They offer military onboard credits as well, and savings with AMA Waterway. So if you are looking at one of those apply as well. But I mean, I could go on for quite a while, and I want to keep it as brief as I can. So with the CF1 appreciation program, so this is one of the things that when I first came on board with Vacations for Canadians that I talked with Tina at great length about to educate her on just exactly what the CF1 appreciation program was. It's something that's near and dear to our Canadian military because this program is connected to everything, to rental cars, to attraction tickets, to different stores, goods and services, and especially travel-related offers. So I told her that every military member, as soon as they enlist, get put into this program, every single one of them. So that is a massive market of people that are enlisted in this program. And every base has a store on the base that they can use. So they constantly are referencing this program. So I really wanted the agency to get affiliated with the CF1 appreciation program, which we did. So I just the screen there to show registered with, and the same offer that's on there is the one that we share on our website. So basically, anybody who's part of the CF1 appreciation program, which is active or veteran military, their dependents, and the RCMP. So any one of those that qualify onboard credit for a 7+ night sailing in a veranda or above. So if you're in a category below veranda or your cruise is less than 7 days, then you don't qualify for the offer. But if it's 7 nights or more and you're in a veranda category or above, $50 onboard credit that we add to your cruise. And if you're in a suite category, then we will give you $100 onboard credit. So again, we just need to have that identification, whether it's your military card, your veteran card, or that CF1 card that you see right there. Excuse me, any one of those three, we'll add that to your profile and put a note on file so that whenever we create a reservation for you, if it qualifies for that offer, that we add that for you. Now, with the onboard credit gifts, they are added to your reservation at boarding time. So you won't see those on your reservation leading up to the cruise. So if you're looking at your invoice and you see that that onboard credit is missing, don't panic. It just means that we haven't gifted it to you yet, because if we put those out there in advance and then you need to cancel for whatever reason, we can't get those back. So we wait until the closer to boarding date, and then we gift those to you, and they will be on your account when you board the ship. So like I said, we have it available on our website as well, so you can reference it there. I shared the link to show you where you can find the extra onboard credits. So it does break down about the same kind of explanation that we have on the CF1 program site, but it's also on our website. So if you're under extras, under deals, and you will find extra onboard credit, click on that link, and this is where it'll take you on the page. Not only will you see military on there, but you will see first responders, you will see medical personnel, and you will see teachers. So we do offer it to all of those professions as they so rightly deserve it, especially after coming out of the pandemic. This was part of that conversation, was that, you know, during the pandemic, these were some of the professions that were impacted the most. And so sorry. One other link that I wanted to share with you is just our blog that we have on our website. So we have a blog on our website. You can see the link there, vacationsforcanadians.com. And it talks about military discounts. So basically all the information that I have shared with you tonight is available on our website on one of the blogs that we have written. So if you don't write it down, not to worry, just go under our website, go under the About Us tab, and you will see our blog on there. And this is one of the articles that's captured under our blog, which details about military discounts for cruise lines. So it'll capture some of that information there, maybe not as in depth as I went over reviewing some of the different cruise lines that are out there. But it does highlight some of the different programs that or some of the cruise lines that offer this program. And then I just wanted to share this last slide because obviously it goes without saying just how tied I am to this. You know, a lot of people that I serve with in the military, we all spent time overseas. Of course, as you can see in the other picture there, some of them didn't come back. That's me at a military funeral service. So it's something that I'm deeply connected with. The ball cap that I'm wearing today was actually given to me by the Minister of National Defense when I was in Afghanistan. The jersey that I'm wearing today, I got presented at the Scotiabank Center as a hero of the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's something that I've been deeply connected with, both in my military career and now as a veteran and travel agent post-military career. So I'm always excited to work with our military clientele and their families because I know how hard they work to get that vacation time and how limited it is, and that they really treasure that time that they get to reconnect with their families, as I did when I was in the military. So it really was important to me that I got to do this briefing. And if ever anybody has any questions about the different programs that are out there or the different cruise lines, I'm always happy to talk to them. Even if you're not my client, I'm happy just to talk about the military and share stories or whatever. And obviously try to help out with whatever I can as far as the promotional offers that are out there. So that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. That was a great presentation. And I just wanted to, we were in the comments, just asked if anybody was an active military or veteran. And we have a whole lot of military joining us tonight. So from all of us at Vacations for Canadians, we definitely want to thank you for your service, whether you're active or a veteran. And we really appreciate everything you do for our country and for us. So thank you for that. And usually what we do now is a little giveaway. But I think what I'm going to do tonight, I'm just going to put my email into the comment section. And any of you that identified as a military or former military, if you send me an email, we're going to send you out a little Vacations for Canadians mouse pad as a thank you from us instead of doing a giveaway tonight, because you all deserve a little something special. So
yeah, I actually saw in the comments, Rebecca Neville commented, and I served with both her and her husband separately. So I served with her husband in the Air Force, and then I actually served alongside her at the Air Force Training Academy, which is where she worked. And then I worked at the Air Force College, which was my last posting before I left the military. So I worked with her husband at the beginning of my military career and with her at the end of my career.
Talk about full circle. And here we are tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so we are on to the Ask Us Anything portion of our evening. And this is when you can ask Matt questions about his presentation, or if you have questions about cruising in general, you can just pop those into the comments. And I will wait for some comments to come through, but I wanted to start out maybe with, hi, Jack. Jack's new. Thanks for joining us, Jack. So if you have cruising questions, please feel free to ask us. That's what we're here for. We've got Luke, and while we were in Matt's presentation, Trisha, who is a new travel advisor with Vacations for Canadians, and Carrie, who is a long-standing Vacations for Canadians travel advisor, have also both joined us. So we have a wealth of knowledge across this panel if you have questions. And I am just going to say we are heading into probably what's considered the final month of wave season. So maybe we'll just go through the panel, and maybe you can just kind of give us a wrap up of what people should be looking for as we enter this final sort of month of wave season. Do we want to maybe start with Matt, go to Luke, then Trisha, and on to Carrie?
Yeah, honestly, like there was such a last minute wave that I found rather surprising of people looking for March break. Honestly, for those people that seem to have missed that window because they've been reaching out to us so late, I've been telling them, if this is something, a travel opportunity that you're interested in, we should start talking 2026, because there are deals that are out there for March breaks of 2026. So maybe we should start looking forward to the next one so that you can take advantage of those rates a year in advance and be able to get the best rates possible, because we do have discounted rates for some of the different cruise lines. And I mean, there are some really great family friendly ships that we have discounted rates for with March break.
Okay, I don't know if I am frozen.
No, I was too, so.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to Luke then.
All right.
Sorry, am I cutting out there?
No, you were, but we can hear you now. Maybe Matt touched on it a little bit in terms of, going to Vacations for Canadians to find a lot of information around the military information. I'd like to point the finger to more of our deals. There's a link on our Facebook, on our Vacations for Canadian website, where we have a link for deals, a link for exclusive rights. So even though we're in the middle or tail end of our wave season, and as Matt pointed out, maybe it's looking into 2026, possibly 2027, we do have a bunch of deals posted there, as well as some of our exclusive rates. Again, these were secured in Canadian dollars for those that Canadian pricing is very important. So that would be my tidbit for tonight.
Great. Trisha?
I don't have much to follow up. Both Matt and Luke touched on just about everything. Again, looking early is important. Like Matt says, March break, we've gotten a lot of queries about March break, but those ships are full. There's a very few odd rooms still available. Early is the best. And we'll just keep posting deals.
Awesome. Thank you, Trisha. And Carrie, anything to add to that?
Not so much. So I think the other agents covered booking early because wave season there are a lot of deals that keep coming up. But the other thing to think about is your cruise planner items. So during wave season, you will also see a lot of sales for your specialty dining, your excursions, and your extra things that you might want to splurge. So you can get those extra savings during wave season as well, and take advantage of booking those early as well. And you can always cancel and rebook if the price drops. So it's a good time to do it.
That is a great tip. So we do have a question. The question comes from Rebecca. She says, when using a future cruise credit from Celebrity that offers promotional onboard credit, can that be combined with any current promotions that are offered at the time of booking? So is there anyone who wants to take that question?
Sorry, I was muted there, but I think my internet is caught up to me
Okay.
now.
Okay.
I don't believe it is combinable because it's the same as when we offer onboard credit offers. They're not combinable with the onboard offer. It's the one or the other. However, our Vacations for Canadians onboard credit is separate from that because it's a gift from us to you. So as far as our onboard credit goes, ours is combinable with the book on board offer that they give you. But with Celebrity, it's not an onboard credit offer anyways. For the military, it is $100 savings. That is combinable with the book on board offer. So if you are military and you book on board, then once you transfer the reservation over to us, we can apply the military portion of it and get that combined with your onboard credit offer that you got from booking on board.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that. I don't see any other questions in here. So I think we're going to call it an early night. I know that Matt has been struggling with being a little bit under the weather. So we're going to let him go get some rest. And I know for all our other agents, it is a busy time of year with wave season. So we don't want to keep everybody longer than we have to. But in the interim, oh, wait. Got another question. Sorry. You don't get
That's
off the
okay.
hook quick that easy.
Before we read that one off, Linda, I just wanted to mention, like with any of the cruise lines, be sure to look at the daily planners or the cruise schedules that get released to you either by paper or by app. A lot of the different cruise lines offer military gatherings quite frequently on their cruises. Some are self-led, some are led by the cruise line, and they do special gatherings. So always look at those. A lot of the different cruise lines do those. So they're a great opportunity to be able to meet with like-minded veterans that are traveling. And the one other thing that when I was doing my research on this that I wanted to bring up, although it's not really affiliated with our agency, there is a very small cruise line that's just starting to get their sea legs under them, if you will, which is Margaritaville at Sea. And the only reason why I wanted to bring this up is because it's not something that we can book, but it's something that I think military veterans, members, families should all be aware of, and especially first responders as well, is that right now, Margaritaville at Sea, that's a very small cruise line, are actually offering 2 free cruises in November for military members. So, I mean, it's not something we're affiliated with, but it's something that is affiliated with the military that I think anybody who qualifies for that should look at that if they're interested. They're both in November. They're very short cruises. One's a 4-night, one's a 5-night, I believe. It was something that got brought to my attention by somebody who's a client of ours who saw that we were doing military cruising and asked if I was going to bring it up. I said, we're not really affiliated with them, but maybe if there's time at the end, I would mention it. And since we have time at the end, I thought I'd bring it up. But Google it if you're interested in Margaritaville at Sea and look into this hero cruise that they offer. There's 2 cruises out there that they offer for free for military, which is just an amazing thing that they're doing. And if you qualify for that, you should certainly take a look.
Great. And I think this next question, unless someone else has the answer, would also go out to you, Matt. It says we have an NCL future cruise credit from a canceled cruise. Can we combine it with military?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, just like our exclusive group rates that we have where we have savings, the military promotional savings is combinable with it. Same with these future cruise credits. Your future cruise credit is really just a payment voucher at that point. So it's just funds that you're going to apply to your booking. So we would still create the reservation with your military discount, and then we would use your future cruise credit as a payment onto that discounted cruise.
Perfect. Right. Matt has all the answers. So we are going to wrap up a little bit early tonight. We appreciate everyone coming out. Once again, to the military and veterans and to Matt, thank you for your service. If you need to get a hold of us, feel free to contact us by phone, email, or visit our website where you can book online. And I believe next week, Luke will be presenting for us. So we invite you to join us back here, same time, same place, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.